Hey everybody, welcome to Chasing Collectibles Catchup. I'm Tyler,
I'm Tim.
I'm Lauren.
and with us today we have, I think he might be our first or second returning guest ever, Mr. Larry Allen. So welcome back to Chasing Collectibles Catchup, Larry.
Hey, I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, we know you've got an upcoming show, and we wanted to have you back on to talk about it. So welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, we're excited. We just want to say you've got a show coming up October 16th, and
That's
we
correct.
want to know a little bit about it.
Okay. This is my second show at Village Inn in Clemens. It's an old school Comic-Con. This time we've got a few different dealers like Chasing Collectibles. We've mixed it up a little bit. I know you guys are the new kids on the block, and I'm excited to have you. Also, we're going to have food trucks this time, which will be a different little element. A little bit about the venue. It's right off of I-40 on Ramada Drive. Very easy to get to. Beautiful facility. If you like vintage comic books, this is definitely going to be the place to be. We have a powerhouse group of vendors coming, and we got 5 very, very good artists that are great. So, you might want to plan on getting it. Our entrance, there's like 3 entrances to the facility, but the main entrance, I'm going to have a sidewalk sign out there with this giant Spider-Man balloon. No, it ain't going to be you, Tyler. I ain't going to tie you up. But also the food trucks will be out there. It's going to be on the 16th of October from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's $4 admission. The biggest news, I made an announcement that every hour I'm going to have a drawing for a graded comic book.
Wow.
So, I don't think I've never heard of that in any of the cons.
No.
So I think that'll be a big thing for people. I've been getting a lot of response from people on that. Also, me and my wife, Robin, have really, really, really worked hard on promoting this show, in lots of different aspects and advertising. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good time, and I'm glad y'all going to be a part of it.
Yeah, we're definitely excited. This will be our first time up there. It'll be my first time up there, especially as a vendor. I know Tim and Tyler have already gone up there to attend the show, so they've already scoped it out just to make sure it's all fun and games and no rigmarole going on. So we're excited to be there.
No, it was awesome. Larry touched on all the vendors. I mean, I had a goal in mind when I went to purchase a key comic, and I found it, and probably spent a little bit more than I should have, but I had a great time. It was awesome. And of course,
Well,
Tim took his time. I did my lap around, and maybe took about 30 minutes or so. I go back, Tim's still at the same booth. I was like, I need a snack. I said, we're gonna be here a while with Tim.
one little tidbit of information. Today, I had a cancellation from a vendor, but, and I ain't going to name the vendor, but within 2 minutes, I filled that spot.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've got a waiting list of people just waiting to get in. So, that kind of made me feel good that I could fill it that fast.
It's
Yeah.
impressive.
Yeah. That means you're growing and the show's name and everything like that is getting recognition.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
which is awesome. It sounds like you've gone over quite a bit of some new things already regarding the food truck and everything. I got to tell you, I'm really psyched to hear about the graded comic book giveaway every hour. I mean,
Yeah.
you're right. I've never heard of any venue ever doing that.
Are
And
the are the vendors eligible?
Well, funny thing you mentioned that. I'm going to do something a little bit different you never hear is there will be a drawing just for vendors. I'm probably going to give away a graded comic book and also two $25 gift cards.
Wow.
Gas cards or gift cards. So that's something, I want the vendors to know I appreciate them and, definitely want them to come back. And most of all, I want everybody to have a good time. And one thing I want to stress about the show is we're very family friendly, and I like that aspect. A lot of cons, there's something for everybody at a lot of the cons. A lot of them have become more pop culture than Comic Cons. This is truly about comics. And if you love comic books, this is the place you want to be.
Hmm. That is a good thing to bring up. With being family friendly. Someone who has a family himself. And a daughter who loves cosplaying and collecting, and it's a good feel to go to those type of shows.
Last time we went, someone thought I was your son, Tim.
Yeah, you
Wow.
should have pulled on my sleeve, say, Dad, are you done yet?
I was ready for you to take me to McDonald's.
You should have made them buy you some comics.
That's what I should have.
Can I get my allowance?
Yeah.
A lot of people that know me at the shows know that I do stop and I do conversate for quite a while with people and shoot the breeze, and it is one of the things I enjoy doing. It's yes, I love to buy comic books, but I also like to talk to a lot of people, a lot of my friends and everything like that at the shows, and kind of see how everybody's doing in the community.
Yeah. Well, I thought, Larry, speaking of community, actually, while we're here on the topic, I know that you are good friends with Chris Rigo of Beardy Weirdy, and we've gone to a couple of shows now as vendors, and so far I've noticed that everybody is really friendly with one another. You're close with Chris. A lot of vendors, they see each other all the time at these shows. So I was wondering if you could kind of talk a little bit as both a vendor and an organizer of a con, I guess, what that atmosphere is like, kind of the camaraderie among comic book dealers.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be the first to say we got a lot of great people in the comic book industry, not only vendors, but customers. I've been doing this for many, many, many years, and I've only seen a couple little tiny tidbit or, squabbles, but most of all, you got a lot of good vendors, a lot of honest vendors. You got a lot of vendors that'll go out of their way for their customers. Chris Rigo, I met Chris about 6 or 7 years ago when first time he set up at a Charlotte Comic-Con, and we became very, very good friends. Since that time, as everybody knows, my health problems have rendered me where I don't have no mobility. And my poor wife had been trying to unload because she wants to keep doing the cons for me and everything. But Chris, and Josh, whenever he's there, whatever. And there's even been a couple others, Smashers. They jump in and they unload Robin and they load us. I mean, so that goes a long ways, and that shows, the type of people that we have in the comic book industry. Also, I've seen a lot of good things out of comic books. I always try to make our hobby grow. I have give through the years hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of comic books to kids that come through the show, because I want to encourage them to read. I used to do some teaching like Mr. Tyler there. And comic books was a good way to reach some of them. And, that one comic book might keep a kid from turning to drugs or something like that. Also, I go into schools and I give comic books. And I've even had last year, I had a local high school here that invited me to come and talk to their class about
Wow.
comic books. It was cool. And I got all sorts of questions. But it's a great comic book community out there. And, I see a lot of good young people like you guys coming along, and that makes me happy.
Yeah, we've
Thanks.
experienced, I don't know if Tim or Lauren, if you want to touch on it, we've experienced nothing but, positivity with everybody. It's not like, oh my gosh, these guys are, new or whatever. I mean, we at Dave's show last time, we were kind of trying something unique with our setup, and we were like, oh man, we're getting close to this other guy. And he was like, here, I don't need all this space. And he scooted over, and we were like, wow, he's super generous, so everyone's been really nice. I don't know, Tim and Lauren, if you want to comment on any of that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that guy was totally cool. I don't remember the vendor's name, but we were trying to set up a different way, and he was so accommodating. He just said, I'm going to scoot down a little bit and give you guys a little bit of extra room. And
Yeah.
And Chris, speaking of Chris, he came over just to check on us to see how we were doing. It was just, I'm a vet as far as being in comic shows. I've been with Nickel Spot for a while, and I've been to my share of the big shows. I've been to the Chicago show, the Orlando shows, and the Charlotte shows. So I've been around quite a bit, but doing it on our own, it still feels somewhat new. So it was really cool to have, people come check on us and make sure we were good. So we really appreciate that.
Yeah, it's true. We were really appreciative of everyone. Even leading up to this show, people would give us advice on how to successfully do things, and even now, anytime somebody wants to give us advice, we're quick to listen, and just here because we don't have big heads about what it is that we're doing, when we know that there's lots of other vendors that have been doing it longer, and we want to know what they know, what tricks of the trade and stuff that they've learned.
Yeah. Well, speaking of great people within the community, Larry, recently you have started a page called the Carolina Comic Book Hall of Fame. And I was looking over it. I think you've got about 10 or close to a dozen or so entries so far. Some of the names just going at the top of my head, some people that we know well, Rick Fortenberry, Dave Henson, Sheldon Drum, who we had Sheldon on a couple months ago. So I was wondering if you could touch on what inspired you to make this page and start recognizing some people within the comic book industry.
I'd thought about it for a while, and last year we lost a good comic book vendor, Ronnie Brady. We lost him to COVID, and Ronnie had been around for many, many years, and we got like the gentleman you just mentioned that have been around forever, and I just wanted to kind of honor him. You had Shelton, who's run the Heroes store and the Heroes Con. Just think, 40 years in that con, and it's one of the top cons in the country. Dave ran his shop there in Fort Mill for since the early 80s, and Rick's been involved all that long. Currently, there's 15 that have been inducted into the Hall of Fame. A lot of great people like Earl Shaw, just to mention. It's not only just vendors, but some artists and people that have contributed to helping our hobby grow. Another thing that I try to look when I get inductees, not just what they've done on their personal achievements in comic books, but what have they contributed to the comic book industry? Because anything you guys contribute, we're all going to benefit. Anything I do, you guys are going to benefit. And, I just want to make people happy, and I want to honor those that's kind of set the way for all of us. And, I've got a few nominees right now I got to look into a little bit and consider. Most of them I know, because like I said, I've been around about as long as most of them, but I think the response has been phenomenal from people out there, and like I say, it's to honor them and help keep our hobby strong.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Lauren, you.
What sort of, for the people that are listening and watching, what are some of the qualifications, the admission and the process for something like that, for somebody to get into your Hall of Fame?
Well, anybody that wants to nominate anybody, they can just PM me with a nomination and try to give me some info and a bio and provide a picture. I've had a few nominate some people, but I haven't had these are real old timers. I don't have any pictures, so I'm in the process of trying to run down pictures. What I look for is, like I said, how many years, the length of time they've been involved with comic books, what they've contributed, whether it's as a vendor, store owner, artist, writer. There's a lot of different things to consider. And, plus also how well are they respected in the comic book industry, which is not hard, because as we was just talking about, all our vendors and people are very, very well respected. And, like I said, I want to keep that growing. There's a lot of people that I think are deserving to come into it. It just takes a little bit of time. And I think you three guys will be in the Hall of Fame someday.
That'd be awesome.
Well, I know you're. There's probably some lines you can't cross because you run it and all that. But I mean, I think you deserve at some point to be in there. I mean, you're between the Clemens, between the con that you have in Clemens and all the years you've had as a vendor, and then organizing the Hall of Fame. I know it might seem weird one day to write one on yourself, but I think at some point you definitely deserve the recognition, Larry.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that, and you're not the first that have said that, and I don't know, I think there's a lot of other people deserve it more than I do, and but we're going to keep it going, and just see where it takes us.
You have the humbleness of President Washington. Yeah.
Thank you.
So Larry, just wondering, I don't know if we've asked you before, but any advice for people just wanting to get into comic book reading, that might want to go to your show for maybe their first show, or where they should start, how should they go about it?
Well, first, if I was a person that just wanted to get involved, I'd go to a show and talk to many different people. Uh, you know, try to know what you're looking for, like what character, or that sort of thing. And talk to all the vendors, not only just about what type of books they have, but, you can check on their prices. A lot of different vendors specialize in different things. And that's like if I know I don't carry something and I know something that you guys have, I'm going to send them over your way, and that means a lot. I get people that come to me that other vendors send because I have a very strong selection of the old Gold Key and Dell books and Westerns and that sort of thing. You used to see all that at the cons, but you don't see a whole lot of that. But they need to go around and talk to and learn everything they can about the hobby. We got a lot of great personalities involved in comics. The movie industry has really, really helped comic books phenomenally. I came up with a bright idea on promoting this show. I've been leaving material and flyers and stuff at the movie theaters.
That's smart. That's good.
Yeah.
I come up with that idea, and they have been real receptive of it. I said, what better place to go, than where they're showing movies with superheroes, even, the $3 matinees or whatever. So, it's been working out really, really good.
That's awesome.
But, you got some vendors that carry more of your recent comics and your modern day comics, which I don't really carry. I ain't bought a new comic book in several years because I just happen to love the old Golden Age and Silver Age, Bronze Age books. I've been buying a lot of graded books lately and getting into that a little bit.
Yeah, to me, the older books are more pure. Today's new comics, they're just it's hit or miss whether or not they're innocent. I just like the old stuff myself too, the Bronze Age.
Yeah,
Silver
well,
Age.
I like the old stuff. The number one reason is the artwork.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Some of the greats out there, like Jack Kirby and Neil Adams, that sort of thing. And also the storylines to me were a lot better, and love a lot of the old Silver Age covers and stuff.
I've always been a fan, speaking of the art, I'm not really a super fan of guys that draw on computers. It's just too easy. The
Yeah.
guys that drew on the big sheets of paper and go to the editor, and the editor says, nope, start over. You have to erase it and fix something. I just think that is the purest form of art in the comic book world, where you can go and fill in your black space with a touch of a button. No, I don't like it.
Yeah.
I'm just old school that way.
A lot of them old great artists like Vic Carabato, who was recently at the Charlotte Comic-Con. He did some super stuff, and he's in his 90s now.
Wow.
And he was inducted into the Hall of Fame recently.
Well, as we're getting ready to wrap up, Larry, I was wondering if you wanted to just one more time tell the folks at home when the show is going to be and where is it going to be?
All righty.
Oh, perfect.
It's October 16th in Clemens, North Carolina at the Village Inn Event Center on Ramada Drive. The show is from 10 to 4. Going to be a lot of fun, food trucks, great giveaways as you heard, only $4 admission. And, we got some of the best vendors in the Southeast. I'd like to invite everybody to come on out and come by and see the great guys from Chasing Collectibles, and we're looking forward to it.
We'll be there.
Yeah, looks like a fun time. Can't beat it.
Yeah.
But thank you so much, Larry, for joining us. And I guess we're gonna see you on October 16th.
Well,
Actually,
I
we'll see
think
you at Dave's, right?
yeah, I'll be in Rock Hill, so we'll touch base on some things down there.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds
You
good.
should stop into Tyler's classroom and talk about comics.
That would be fun.
They hear it so much from me. They know how to get me off topic. They're like, Mr. Griffin, who is a better superhero, Batman or Spider-Man? And I'm like, and I got a good. They're strategic.
Of course, you know the right answer.
I think you and I have different answers, Lauren. All righty.
Batman's certainly older. I'll give you that.
He is. He's golden age.
Yep.
Well, it's been a pleasure, Larry, and we're looking forward to the show and looking forward to seeing you real soon.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, we'll see you soon.
All right. Later,
Bye.
guys.
Bye-bye.
Yay, comics!